Okay, welcome everybody. This is 11.4 factoring trinomials when a is not equal to 1. That's an important thing to remember. When a is not equal to 1, which means this number here, if it's not 1, then we have to use a different method, right? So since a is not equal to 1, we have to use a different method. Okay, remember that. Right, so a is not equal to 1. We need to use a new method. So it's equal to 2, right? For this one. So we have our 2, 19 is our B, 9 is our C. And we can start with the same process using the X factor. Okay, there's the X box. We're going to use AC on top, right? Air conditioning on top, however you want to say it. Right, so AC on top, air conditioning. Let's go down. Air conditioning on top, right? AC on top, AC on top, B on bottom. Okay, have to remember that. So AC on top, B on bottom, same method. And for this one, remember we have 2 and 9 as our AC. So it'll be 2 times 9 will give us that 18. Right? So that's how they got 18 on the top and a B on the bottom, still B. So that's 19. Right? That's our B is on the bottom. And always we want to find numbers that multiply to the top. Right? So multiply to top, add to bottom. Right? So two factors that multiply to the top, add to the bottom number. So this one we have 1 times 18. Right, that one works because 1 times 18 equals 18, right? It multiplies to the top. And on the bottom, 1 plus 18, that adds to 19. So that one works. All right, so multiply to the top, add to the bottom. So we still have our two numbers right here, 1 and 18. Right, so we're still going to use these two numbers, 1 and 18. We're going to put it in our factor box. Right, so that's only a 1x, 18x. We put it in here with the x, 1 and 18. Okay, first term always goes here, right? So this is first term. This is last term on the bottom. Right, so last term. And then we have our two factors with an x. Right, 1 and 18 that we found using our x factor. Okay, so now we're going to find so first term, how do we get that? Right? So first term here. So first term is 2x squared. So we're going to put that in our first box, 2x squared. Our last term here is 9. So we're going to put that in our last box. Our two factors, 1 and 18, we're going to put it in our two boxes right here. Okay? If you notice, remember, always combining our middle boxes, right? 1 and 18 adds up to the middle box, 19. Right? First term here, last term here. So we have all our numbers, 2, 19 in the middle, and 9 for our last term. So now we got to figure out what are our binomials that we multiply to get this. Right? So to find that, we're going to find what is the GCF of this column, GCF of this column, right, this column, and then GCF for that row, both rows, this column, and GCF of this column right here. Right, so we got GCF of this row, GCF of this row, GCF of this column, and GCF of this column, right? Greatest common factor. Right, so greatest common factor of 2x squared and 18x. Remember how we did that, right? So we write out our factors. So 2x squared is 2x. 18x would be 219. We can use our factor box again. Right, so 18, or our factor tree. 2 times 9, 9 is 3 times 3. Right, so those are factors, 2, 3, 3. So we have 2, 3, 3, and 1x. Okay, so our GCF, remember what's common, right? So this is common, and this is common. So our GCF is 2 and an x. So it's just 2x goes right there. Finding our greatest common factor of this row. Okay, now we're doing the second row right here. 1x and 9. So 1x is just 1x. 1 times x. 9 is 3 times 3. Right? They have nothing in common. But they do have a 1. So if there's nothing in common, like a 1 here, that will be your GCF. 1. Okay, so this is 1. Positive 1 goes there. And then we do the column here, 2x squared and 1x. So 2x squared will be 2 times x times x. 1x, 1 times x. Yeah, what we have in common here, just 1x. So that's going to be x. So that's our GCF. Our GCF for the next column, 18x. So 18, we did that already. It's going to be 2 times 3 times 3, x. And then 9 is 3 times 3. For this column, right? So we look at what's common, 3 and a 3. So our GCF is 3 times 3, which is 9. Right there. Okay, and then we can check ourselves, does this work, right? So 2x times x is 2x squared. That's where 2x is, right? x2 with a 2. 2x times 9, 2 times 9 is 18 with 1x, that works. 1 times x, 1x, 1 times 9 is a 9, so it does work. So that's why our factors are just that, right there. 2x plus 1 and x plus 9. Right, so our factors, that's our answer. 2x plus 1 and x plus 9. Right there. Yeah, so that's how we got that. And check yourself by multiplying, FOIL method, and they're going to combine and work. Right, when you multiply them out, it should work out. Okay. Okay, let's do the next one. And eventually it gets faster. You can do it faster. Okay, this one. So we have 8x squared plus 2x minus 15, right? So we got our A is 8, our B is 2, C is negative 15, right? AC on the top, so that's 8 times negative 15 goes on the top, and that gives us negative 120. Our B on the bottom, that gives us 2. Our factors of negative 120 that add to 2 are negative 10 and 12, right? Because negative 10 times 12 equals negative 120. Negative 10 plus 12 equals 2. Right, so these two work out like that. So those are our two factors. Negative 10, 12, we put it in our box. So negative 10 and 12 with the x. Again, our first term, so 8x squared, first term goes in the box, top box, first box. Our last term, negative 15, goes right there. That's how we set up our box. And then we find GCF. Right, so GCF of the first row, this one right here, is going to be 4x. GCF of this row is negative 5. GCF of this column is 2x. GCF of this column is 3. How do we find that, right? Let's find the GCFs again. So 8x squared, so 8 is 2 times 2 times 2 times x. And we have two of them, x squared. 12x is, let's do factor tree. 2 times 6, 6 is 2 times 3. And that's our numbers, right? 2, 2, 3. So we have 2, 2, 3 with 1x. Then we look at what's common. 2, 2, x. So 2 times 2 is 4, x. So that's how we got 4x. The next one, negative 10x minus 15. So negative 10x is negative 1 times 2 times 5 with 1x. Negative 15 is going to be negative 1 times 3 times 5. And that was no x's. Right, so this is negative 10x goes there. Negative 15 goes there. Have our numbers, so negative 1's in common, 5's in common. So negative 1 times 5, negative 5. So that's how we got GCF of negative 5 here. And it can keep going. Right, this column. So 8x squared, we did that, so it's 2, 2, 2 with 2 x's. Negative 10, we did that, that's negative 1 times 2 times 5 times x. This is 8x squared. This is negative 10x. And then in common, we have 1, 2, and 1x. So our GCF is 2x. And then the next column, 12x and negative 15. So 12x, 2 times 2 times 3 with an x. Negative 15 was negative 1, 3 times 5. So we look at what's common, 3. That's it. All right, that's the only thing they have in common is 3. So that's why we have 3 here. So those are our factors, and that's our answer. 4x minus 5 right here, and 2x minus 3 right there, or 2x plus 3. Yeah, so let's do number 1 together. Same process, right? So we're going to identify what the A, B, and C are. Right, so A equals B and C. Okay, we're going to see what those are first. So the A, 9, B, 12, C is 4. Yeah, we know that. AC on top, right? AC on top, air conditioning. So 9 times 4 is 36. That goes on top. B on bottom. So our B is 12. So we found factors of 36 that add to 12. And what are numbers? Factors of 36 that add to 12. Let's see, factors of 36. 6 times 6. Oh, that adds to 12 too. Okay. That was easy. 3 times 12. That doesn't work. Only 6 times 6 works. Right, so 6 times 6 is 36. 6 plus 6 is 12. So 6 and 6 is our number. So 6 and 6 are our two numbers. And we'll write it in our box. Okay, remember, first term goes in the first box. Right, so first term. That's 9x squared is our first term, right, from 9x squared. Here, put it in the box. Last term, 4, goes in the last box. Then our two numbers, 6 and 6, we put in here, 6x, 6x, with the x's. Then we're finding GCF, right? We have to find what the GCF is for all of them, right? For all of them. Each row, each column. Okay, let's do the first one. First row, we have 9x squared and 6x. So 9x squared, 9 is 3 times 3, and 2 x's. 6 is 2 times 3 with 1x. What's common? 3 and an x. Right, so the GCF is 3x right there of that row. Then we go to the next row. We have 6x and 4. So 6x, 6 is 2 times 3 with 1x. 4 is 2 times 2. And look at what's common. Only the 2 is common, so positive 2 goes there. Okay, then we move on. Go to the first column here. So we have 9x squared and 6x. So 9 is 3 times 3, and x squared is 2x's. 6 is 2 times 3 with 1x. So we have 3 and an x. So our GCF is going to be 3x. Okay. Then we go to the last term. In the last column, we have 6x and 4. So 6x is 2 times 3 times x. 4 is 2 times 2 again. What's common? 2. And that's it. So GCF is 2. So those are our factors right there. So our solution is going to be 2 factors. We got 3x positive 2, and then 3x positive 2 again, 3x plus 2. So that's our answer, 3x plus 2 times 3x plus 2. You can also write this out like 3x plus 2 squared, because there's 2 of them. So same thing, 3x plus 2 squared, you have 2 of them. Okay, we're going to check our answer by multiplying the result together. Right? So 3x plus 2, so 3x times 3x, right, with distributive property. First, then we do outer, 3x times 2. Then we do inner, 2 times 3x, less 2 times 2. So that'll be 9x2, x squared. So we get 6x, 6x, and 4. Our middle terms combined give us 12x's. Right, so those are our values, right? 9x squared, 12x, and 4. And that's our answer. Right, 9x squared plus 12x plus 4. So we are correct because that's what we started with. And that's how we show that our answer is correct. Okay, so these ones take a little bit of time before we can actually see it and try to guess and check it. But we're just doing this process because this will never fail, never fail. Okay, then we got A, B, C again. Right, so our A is 4, B is negative 24, C is 27. So A times C, right, AC on the top. So 4 times 27 goes on the top. So 4 times 27. So 4 times 25, or 4 times 20 is 80. 4 times 7 is 28. So that's add them together, you get 108. Right, so you get 108. B on bottom, right? Negative 24. So our two factors. So our two factors. Multiply to 108, add to negative 24. Right, so you know, add to a negative, we need different signs. Or we need at least one negative. If it multiplies to a positive, both needs to be negative, right? So what are factors of 108? Let's try it at the beginning. Negative 254. Does that add to negative 24? No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. What are other factors of 108? 4, or negative 4 times negative 27? No, that's what we started with. That doesn't add to negative 24. Right, what else can we do? Right, what if we're stuck? Right, think of other numbers. What can we do? Let's break this down. Let's break it down. 108, 254. 54, 6, and 9. 6 and 9. Okay, 2 and 3. This is 3 times 3. Okay, let's figure that out. So how can we break down 108? By a 9? Right, because it has a 9 in there. 3 times 3 is 9. So let's try that. Negative 9 times negative 12. Add that to negative 24? No. What else can we do? 6? Because there's a 6 right here, right? So negative 6 times negative 18. Right, these don't work. These don't work. So negative 6 times negative 18. Does that work? Right, so negative 6 times negative 18 multiplies to 108. Negative 6 plus negative 18, right, that adds to negative 24, so that works. So those are our two numbers, negative 6, negative 18. Okay, so once we have that, so those are our two numbers, right, negative 6 and negative 18. We're going to put that in here, negative 6x, negative 18x. Our first term, 4x squared. Put that in our first box, 4x squared. Our last term, 27, put in the last box. Then we're going to do the GCFs, right? Greatest common factors. So first row, 4x squared and negative 18x. So 4x squared, 2 times 2, we get 2 x's. Negative 18x, we get negative 1, take out the negative. 2 times 3 times 3 with 1x, right? Because negative 18, we broke that down. Negative 1, 18, 18, 2, and 9. 9 is 3 times 3. So those are our factors, negative 1, 2, 3, and 3. So our GCF, common, we have 2 and an x. And that's it. So this is going to be 2x. That's our GCF. Next row, negative 6x and 27. We have negative 1. 2 times 3 will give us 6. And then 27 is 3 times 3 times 3. Right, because 27, 3 times 9. 9 is 3 times 3. We got 3, 3, 3. So that's how we got 3, 3, 3. And our common, we only have 1, which is a 3. So positive 3. Yeah. Next one. 4x squared, this column, negative 6x. So we got 2 times 2, 2 x's. So it's negative 1. 2 times 3 with 1x. DCF, so we get 2 and an x. We got 2x here. Next column, negative 18x and 27. We did that, negative 18, like 1, 2 times 3 times 3 times x, 27, 3 times 3 times 3. So we got 2 3's. So that is 9. Okay, so let's check ourselves. Does that work? If we multiply it out, 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times 9 is positive 18, right? Is that a negative? Let's check out this one. 3 times 2x, positive. Okay, so this is a special case right here. If there is a negative in this box, the first box, we're going to put a negative. So we just add a negative here and a negative here. And that's going to work. Right? So 2x times negative 9, we get negative 18x. Negative 3 times 2x, you get negative 6x. Negative 3 times negative 9 is positive 27. So you might have to adjust it to fit your factors so it multiplies correctly, right? So our solution, 2x minus 3, 2x minus 9. And then we're going to check our answer by multiplying. So 2x minus 3, 2x minus 9. We're going to multiply that using FOIL, right? So first, 2x times 2x. That last, or outside, be 2x and negative 9. Inside, negative 3 times 2x. Last, negative 3 times negative 9. So 2 times 2 is 4 with 2 x's. 2 times negative 9, negative 18 with 1x. Negative 3 times 2, negative 6 with 1x. Negative 3 times negative 9, positive 27. Middle terms combined. Negative 18 plus negative 6 together, negative 24. So negative 24x. So those are our terms, right? 4x squared, negative 24x, 27. So we get 4x squared minus 24x plus 27. Is that what we started with? That is correct. Right, so we started with that. So our answer is correct. Okay, next one. So identify A, B, C. A, 9. B is negative 56. C is 12. Right, AC on the top, so 9 times 12. 9 times 12, 108. B on the bottom, negative 56. So factors of 108 that adds to negative 56. And last time, we can break this down again. Let's break it down. We got 108 to 54. 54 was 6 and 9. Right? And we can go further. What does this look at? So 2 and 54. Does that add to 50? Oh, that works right there. Right? So negative 2 times negative 54. That gives us 108. Negative 2 plus negative 54 That gives us negative 56. Right, so our two numbers, negative 2 and negative 54, are the two numbers that we're going to use right there. Okay, and we're going to put it in the box. So negative 2x and negative 54x. Okay, when we get faster, it's going to get a lot faster. Got it. First term, 9x squared. Last term, 12, right? So first term, last term. Put it in there. Middle terms always add up to the middle, right? Negative 56x. Then we find our GCF. Okay, we can kind of see already what's going on. We can write it out. So 9x squared, negative 54x. Common factor of 9. Right? We can see that. Let's write that out. So 9x squared, negative 54x. We get 3 times 3, 2 x's. Negative 54, negative 1. Then we got, break it down. Negative 1, 54, 2, 27. 27, 3 times 9. 9 is 3 times 3. So we have all these numbers here as our factors. We got 2 times 3 times 3 times 3 with 1x. For our common factors, 3, 3, and x. So 3 times 3 is 9, so 9x is our greatest common factor, GCF. Then we go to the next one. Negative 2x and 12, that's this next row. So negative 1, 2x, which is 3 times 4, which is 3 times 2 times 2. Common term, x. So this is 2. Remember, if this is negative, right, we're going to make this negative 2. So that's negative. Then we go to the next column. 9x squared again. And then negative 2x. So 3 times 3, 2x's. This is negative 1 times x. Our common factor is just x. So this is going to be x. Our next column, negative 54x and 12. So we did negative 54x. Let me just write that in. Negative 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, x. 12, we did that also. 3 times 2 times 2. Okay, what's common? 2 and 3. So that's 2 times 3, 6. This is 6. And again, if our first number is negative, right, make this negative 2. Now we check, does that work? 9x times x, 9x squared. 9x times negative 6, negative 54x. Negative 2 times x, negative 2x, negative 2 times negative 6, positive 12. That does work. So that's our solution. 9x minus 2 and x minus 6. Right there. Okay, and it works. Then we can FOIL it. 9x times x. 9x times negative 6. Negative 2 times x. And negative 2 times negative 6. So this will be 9, 2x's. This is negative 54x. Negative 2x and positive 12. These two out in the middle, it's negative 56x. And they all look the same, right? 9x squared, negative 56x, and 12. So it works. 9x squared minus 56x plus 12. And that's what we started with. Right, so these ones, right? So you have A, B, C. A, C on top, B on the bottom. right? If it's a large number, you can break it down with a factor tree and use these factors. Right? You could use 2, 6, 9. You could use 12 or 18, right? These are factors that could work. Then you have put it in a box, right? Your factors here, -2 with the x, -54 with x. First term, last term, and you find your GCF this column, GCF of this column, or row, each row, and GCF of this column, GCF of this column. And then you have your answer right there, 9x minus 2, x minus 6. That's how we got that.